Hello, my good friends. I am here today doing a book review, and I might actually do them more this way. Normally, I just sit in front of the camera and talk to you, but that's not very interesting to look at. And I'm getting a little bit better at this whole editing garbage, so maybe I'll do more voiceovers from now on. But today, I am reviewing Tress of the Emerald Sea, otherwise known as Secret Project 1. And something really, really cool about this novel for me personally, it is the first Sanderson novel I've ever finished. Yes, the first Sanderson novel I tried to read was The Way of Kings. I made it a little more than halfway through and just put it down and never picked it up again. You guys know how it is. And then a year and a half ago, yeah, maybe a year and a half after that, after I tried Way of Kings, I tried Mistborn because it fit a prompt for a challenge I was doing, and it was also free on Kindle Unlimited for a while. It wasn't free, it was $10 a month, but yeah. So I tried that, and I couldn't really follow it. I was a little bit confused, but I decided to try Tress because I read like the first sentence of it, and I really vibed with the voice. I know a lot of people don't. We'll talk about the voice. That's something a lot of people really don't like about this novel. But I really jived with the voice, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this one. I tried it, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Let's talk about why. The reason I really, really liked, verged on loved this novel was just the ambiance. And it was seafaring. Yes, they are on the Emerald Sea. It's not water, it is spores. And when they come into contact with water, spores, the green spores become trees, the red spores are spikes, the midnight spores, which are black, do something even worse. And while it wasn't water, it still had that big, ambiance where you could kind of feel the boat rocking around you as you're reading. You could kind of smell the emerald sea. It had the quirky seafaring characters. And something super unique about this novel is that it is narrated by a side character. So I thought that was cool. The side character's Hoyd. If you're familiar with Sanderson, I'm sure you know Hoyd. And he is under a curse in this novel, so he's not really himself. He can't totally talk. So the main premise is Tress sets out from her little island to save Charlie, the love of her life. And we've got probably my second favorite animal companion, next to the demons and his dark materials, of Huck, who is a rat. You guys know how I feel about rodents. I love rodents. I have 3 guinea pigs. I've had hamsters my whole life, guinea pigs my whole life, and I'm actually not afraid of rats. I kind of like rats. They just don't live long enough, which is why I've never had one. So Tress gets on this vessel. She's got a couple disguises. Some people think she's like an inquirer. Some people think she's like a king's mask or something. Like, they have these nefarious thoughts about her, but she's not. She has a very clear goal, which was great. That clear, foreseeable finish line was really what made this book just so easy to follow for me. She's after Charlie. Either she's going to get to Charlie or not. And I did not see the twist coming. There's a huge twist at the end of this novel, and it blew my friggin' mind. The reason I couldn't give it 5 stars was because some of the conflict was just all too easily resolved. They literally talk their way out of both really big climactic moments. There are 2. There's a confrontation with a dragon, and then there's a confrontation with a sorceress. And both times, Tress kind of just talks her way out of it, or Hoyd talks his way out of it. And I thought that was really anticlimactic and kind of lame. And I don't know if this is a Sanderson thing, because I have also read Secret Project 2, which I will do a review on, and the same thing kind of happens. Like, Sanderson's a little bit afraid, I feel like, to make things too hard on his characters. Like, yes, Tress had a really arduous journey, but when it gets to that, you know, make or break moment. It's just like, okay, yeah, here it is. There's no combat. There's no like huge decisions she has to make. It's just, you know, not she didn't even have to solve a riddle. Like she just it was a little frustrating. But the twist here, didn't see it coming at all. And the characters too, they're quirky, they're dangerous, you can't trust them, they're silly, and the voice, the narrator Hoyd, is very condescending toward the reader, which is funny, and it was fun. And I've actually never really read a book that's kind of first and third person narrated at the same time. Like Hoyd gets inside Tress's head, and I found that kind of like impossible. So it kind of makes me wonder, is Hoyd a reliable narrator or isn't he? Or, we know where the story's coming from. We know Hoyd is telling it to us from a later date. So I'm wondering if maybe there was like an off script moment where Tress narrated the whole story to Hoyd and now Hoyd's narrating it to us. This is kind of just an off the cuff review. I don't have anything planned for it, and I think I'm going to do more like this where I just give you my raw opinion. And my raw opinion, 4.5 stars, amazing starting point if you're trying to get into Sanderson. I was trying to get into Sanderson. All my friends love Sanderson, and I was just like, I'm not feeling it, bro. Like, cool story, bro, but not for me. So, yeah, it was a really, really great starting point. It was a really engrossing story, great seafaring ambiance, characters you can't trust, a narrator who you're wondering what the hell's going on with him, and a lovely little rat animal companion who's aiding Tress to get to the love of her life. And Tress is only like, I think at one point it says she's 16, but I think she ages up to 18. And unlike a lot of books I've read, Tress kind of acts like an 18-year-old, which is good. Children are hard to write. Yes, I know 18-year-old's not really a child, but it's still a teenager. And I work with teenagers, even YA books. They don't act like teenagers, John Green. But Tress acted her age. Tress acted 18. She acted the lovey-dovey girl with stars in her eyes who wants to go get the love of her life. And Charlie is so quirky. And if I did the mid-year freakout tag, I said my fictional crush was Lancelot. Honestly, I kind of like Charlie, but he's underage, so we'll wait for him to grow up a little bit before I actually have a crush on him. So Tress of the Emerald Sea, 4.5 stars. I'm gonna put lengthwise, I think it was like 450 pages. So it was long, but not really that long. It was kind of like, it took me a while to read it because I was back and forth with a bunch of buddy reads, but I think if you just read one book at a time, you could probably get through Tress, 3 or 4 days. So it was medium, like not super heavy, very medium paced. And while I wouldn't say this is a good starting point for fantasy, if you have like an intermediate experience with fantasy, I think you're going to get the most out of this book. And I'm actually thinking about teaching it to my 9th graders, which would be hard. My 9th graders read at about a 5th grade level. It's inner city. Most of them need English support, so there's that. But the twist honestly made it maybe worth it. Maybe it's worth trudging through the green spores with these kids, having to do so much extra work to make sure they're getting it, so they can get that twist and they can get everything about this book. I'd have to think about it a little bit more. I'm going to read Stardust. I love the movie Stardust. This gets compared to Stardust a lot, so we'll see. Maybe I'll teach Stardust. And then if I think Stardust is too hard, we always got The Hobbit to fall back on. So that is my review of Tress of the Emerald Sea. 4.5 stars. Huge fan. Highly recommend, especially if you have no opinion of Sanderson. This is a great place to start. So thank you guys. Let me know what you think about this style of review. I'm trying to make the images a little bit better for you guys. So that's it. Keep reading, keep writing, keep loving words. I will see you guys next time. Bye.